We love the lurkers. We love the lurkers.
Go take a look at an ice maker. Got the call to give it a second opinion and an evaluation of what's wrong with it and what it would cost to get it working good, or if it should just be replaced. So I'm really not sure what we're getting into, so let's go take a look at it. Alright, there it is. See what we're working on today. Let's take the S model 400 pounder. Oh, look how thick the ice is, so it's got issues. I like to watch it make a batch and check my ice pattern. We can get into the gauging up on it in a little bit. I'll probably gauge up on it with smart probes when the time comes, and we can check some temperature readings. Out in the van, digging through my books. I got the S model book here, and I'm gonna grab the iPad so we can gauge up with the smart probes, and I'm gonna grab my I got some temperature meter stuff I'm gonna grab here. Alright, so here's our worksheet. About 70 degrees ambient in here. 270 to 195, 60 at the beginning, 30 at the end of the freeze cycle. That's where we're at right now. Pressures are way low. And then look at your ice pattern. You only got ice at the bottom of the grid, and it should build it uniform. So that's usually a sign that we're low on charge. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to recover the charge out and see how close we are. It's 22 ounces total charge. So we're going to do a recovery on this, and we'll weigh the charge coming out. All right, I got the gauges hooked up here. I'm just going to go ahead and weigh out whatever charge is in there. Let me tear this out, and we'll start. Go ahead and open up. See what we get out of this thing with Mr. 45. Okay, so we're complete. I'm a bit short. I'm supposed to have 22 ounces. I got 6.4. Let's go ahead and do the self-purge and see what it comes out to total after self-purge. All right, there it is, complete on self-purge. 6.6 ounces. So we're gonna go in leak find mode. I'll get the nitrogen and we'll pressurize it. Alright, I got it pressurized with nitrogen. And there's my nitrogen check. And I'll try with my ear balls first. My ears first. And then we'll go soap bubbles. I have had some leaks down here before on units. And I've seen some hot gas valves leak. It looks like the TXV in this unit's been changed before too, so we'll check all the welds. Okay, so I'm soap bubbling along here. Here's our TXV. You can tell it's been changed out before, because that's not a factory weld. So that's a Danfoss TXV. I remember the old days, they wanted us to put a J-tube in and have these so they weren't upside down. I'm not sure on the S model. I'm gonna have to check that out. Anything soap bubbling yet, so I'm still checking. And the hot gas valve's on the other side. I'll show you guys that. I put a bunch of soap on that too. And this was a pinch-off tool port. You can check all that. Okay, I'll carry on here. Okay, so I've had them leak around here before on these Danfoss compressors. And right there, but I'm not getting anything today. Right where it goes into the body, I've had those rust out. There's the hot gas valve back there. I do see a little bit of bubblage around the stem there. I don't know if that's residual bubbles or not, so I'll check it again. And we'll see how it settles down. That's what it looks like right now. So see, that's bubbling up right there. Or just too much air in my bubbles. We can always check it with the electronic too. We could dump a little bit of gas in there and give her a sniff. Break out the H10 and then give it a good sniffing with the leak detector and see if we pick up anything. It's kind of backwards, you would think, but I had to pull the gas out and weigh it to make sure I was low on charge. So that's why we went back. I went back with nitrogen first, and then now the leak detector. Get anything with the soap bubbles, I came back to the electronic and it just went nuts right over here. And the bulb has this piece of metal to slide into, and then to go to the pipe, and then has this clamp on it. So my leak detector went nuts over there. So look at this. Holy hell. Leak detector went nuts. That's my leak. I could see it leaking. I'll get the soap bubbles on it so you have a really good look. So I gotta cut that and fix it right there. And that's my problem. There it is. Bingo, bongo, bango. The bubbler. Look at that line, just got totally squished, got way over tightened. So that is where the leak is. Cut it back here and then sweat this piece off. Alright, so I cut it right here at the tubing cutter. I'm gonna sweat this piece out and then I'll make a piece up. A new piece, and that's my plan. Okay, there it is, I got it off. I used my flux trick on there. Kept it clean, and then I shoved that hole full of that you know, the thermal block stuff. I think I saw Reardon using the thermal block back in the day, so I had to try it because that guy's a super techie. And I really like his videos. So that stuff really worked. Right on, bro. All right, let me make a piece of pipe. So I'm back here in the back of the van, and I'm going to swedge this up. There's the piece that leaked. I think it got squished to me. It's yeah, look at that. It's pinched off. It's terrible. So that's out. This is a new one. So I'm going to start by, I'm going to ream it first. And then I'm going to file down the edges. And then I will swedge it with my old school swedger. There it is. Look at that, huh? And that's our new piece right there. Boom. Dryer cut out. I got the new one sweated in. It was an absolute party over here on the dryer side. Party. All right, let me nitrogenize it and we'll check for leaks, and then we'll pull a vacuum. Okay, that's how that came out. I'll get the bulb reattached and all the insulation back on. Pulled my vacuum, weighed in my charge. I got the smart probes going. I got some other sensors here going. We're gonna check some checks on here. Okay, so we're between 70 and 80. Section between 60 and 30 as it starts and then comes down, and then that's our head pressures, and that's where we're at right now. So that all looks really good right now. You want to check it 5 minutes in. So I'm liking that. Then we're going to check our differential on our evaporator. We'll be looking for 7 degrees on that, and then our discharge temperature. I think on this one's got to get up to 150 or 140. We're going to be there no problem. Have enough heat for defrost. That's not going to be an issue. And then let me check my connectors up here and we'll check our differential on our evaporator. Okay, so we're a little ways into the freeze cycle here. Pressures are looking within specs, and my differential between, so what I'm checking here is the inlet and the outlet of the evaporator. And you got to be within 7 degrees on your differential, which is that top line. There's T1, there's T2, and I'm 2.3, so that's within spec. On your evaporator, and at the end of your freeze cycle, you want to make sure you have a minimum of 150 degrees discharge temperature, which we've already achieved, so we're looking good there. So we should be in good shape now. I just have to adjust the ice thickness probe for the right bridge thickness, and we'll check it out here, and then we'll check our pressures and defrost or harvest. And I'll get to put back on that page. The smart probes are really good for working on ice machines, because you don't want to put big hoses on here and then lose refrigerant out of your ice machine. So that's great. And I got the iPad down there. So it's kind of nice. So I'm about 5 minutes in. Turn my light on my freeze cycle, and you'll see it's forming ice uniformly now that we got charged in the ice machine. When you're only making ice like a half a grid on these old S models, you're low on charge. Some of the new Manitowocks, the way they've routed the tubing, it might be okay because they've changed it. But on these older ones, if you only got ice on the bottom half, you're probably low on charge, or you have an expansion valve problem most of the times. The TXV seems to be working just fine, but you'll see we're making ice evenly all the way up. So we'll let it get there, and then I got to adjust the bridge thickness, and we'll see what it looks like in harvest. And I come over here for my differential. There it is. So right now everything's within specs. We'll see what it looks like during harvest cycle. All right, so the grid's just about ready. It's nice and uniform. I'm just about ready to adjust it to go in the harvest. Got my harvest light on, and then the red light for defrost should come on within like 6 seconds. All right, so now we just started harvest, and let's check our pressures. 190 to 135, okay, and 80 to 115. All right, right in there. So let's see how it harvests, and we'll see how she does. And then we can check our bridge thickness to see if we need to adjust the bridge thickness thicker or thinner. Okay. There it is, just a little bit thick. Let me lighten that up just a little bit. Okay, we'll check the next batch and see how batch 2 looks good. Bridge thickness, I like that. This thing's ready to rock and roll. And I'll get the cover back on this right here. Alright, she's happy. Alright, she's got done that ice maker job. It's 7 o'clock at night. Had a leak that was kind of hard to find, but found it, fixed it. Got our dryer changed out. Good vacuum pulled on, recharged. And everything's within specs and working good now. So, like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.